Greetings, this is Susie Q. Today we begin to break down Attraction 41 questions. Today, question is number 28. These can be found via podcast and video at YouTube channel Holistic Healing Community by Susie Jervich. Do subscribe to follow this complimentary offering of how to tune into attracting your desired goal, intent, or juicy, groovy new vibe. Today's question, number 28, is... what brings you happiness right now? What brings you happiness right now? Great question. It is such a pleasure offering this beautiful 41 days of attraction. And these are questions I wrote over a month ago. And every morning when I wake up, I feel like a little kid at a candy store or something when I open up my my file here to see what's next. So this question, what brings you happiness right now, actually brings me happiness right now. Oh, goodness. So much happiness in our lives around us right now. What in your life are you really feeling happy about right now? What are you doing to create more experiences of happiness in your life right now? How are you approaching a experience where happiness is present? Are you fully receiving it, or are you perhaps maybe busy with what we call these distractions in life? How does happiness land with you? What does it feel like? When you're in a space of happiness, where are you feeling it in your body? Are you noticing any sensations in your body when you're really in this happy, joyful place? Are you noticing your breathing? Just noticing how your breath work really shifts and changes when you're in this space of happiness. And just notice how you feel overall and how it extends out into other parts of your life when you've had a real huge expression of happiness. And when I think about happiness, in this way is how it extends is, let's just say there's a big party or surprise party for you, your birthday, and somebody gives you this beautiful surprise party and you're so overwhelmed with happiness and it's almost so happy you're crying. It's just so much fun. So really looking at those moments where we're really in that beautiful flow of happiness. Happiness for me, I've got my 2 adult children, I've got 5 grandchildren, and a lot of happiness comes for me having to do with raising my children and also seeing them as adults and living their lives in such beautiful ways. That brings me so much joy and happiness. And of course, seeing my grandchildren, and my kids live a distance away. However, every time I get a new picture of the grandkids, I get really, really happy and silly. And it's just the most beautiful and loving expression. When we see those we love that are happy, seeing the happiness in another person, that really lands so heart-based for me, in that place of happiness and love from the heart space. Ooh, it just lands really good. So what does happiness right now look like for you? What is arriving in your life? What are you creating in your life right now that'll bring more happiness into your field? If you're feeling, if there's times where happiness seems to be maybe a little bit void in your life, or it seems like it's elusive in your life at this moment, what can you do to make a change or a shift or a different choice that may cultivate and bring about some beautiful happiness into your field? What would that look like? Okay, so here are some ideas a little bit if you need to shift that mood into more of a happiness space. So some things you might do is just make one small change. One small change. That small change could be, this is just really kind of cool what's coming in right now, is that when you extend yourself to another human being, or even to a plant, or even to an animal, when you extend your happiness and a gift of kindness or a gesture of a smile, or simply blessing another person, even if it's quiet, These are small acts that are so we might take them for granted because we think we have to do huge things to create happiness. Well, in essence, what we can do is just the most minute shift in awareness that when we look at another person and we smile and we connect with another person, and if that other person responds in kind to you to mirror your smile, that in essence is an expression of this expansion of your field going into another's field and sharing your own sense of happiness. When you begin to extend in that way simply by smiling. Now, this is a secret I had as a mom. When I was a young mom, I realized sometimes in the mornings before the kids were going off to school that sometimes I felt a little bit stressed, okay? I was not my best me. And eventually, it didn't take a while, but I noticed that my tension in the morning and getting the kids ready and getting lunches and breakfast and all that, it just seemed like it wasn't the best way to send my kids off from school. So every morning, after I came to terms with, hey, I need to send these kids out in the highest and brightest and most shimmery, shiny light ever. So this is what I did. And this was a really fun little secret that I did with my kids. And it was for me too. So before I woke them up, even when they were in high school, I still woke them up. I don't know what the deal is with that. But even going into high school, I would turn on the TV and then I would put like a goofy cartoon. At the time, I just found Teletubbies. So we had Teletubbies going on in the on the TV set before they woke up. And then I would wake them both up and I would sing a song. And I can't remember, it was Good Morning to You, Good Morning to You. Oh, God, I can't remember the song right now. But I would sing them awake. And that was just really silly and lighthearted. I would always put a smile on my face. And I remember talking to myself. I was a single mom with these kids. And I remember talking to myself before I addressed my children, before their eyes opened, that I'm going to put a smile on my face, I'm going to set a tone for the morning and send my kids off in the highest and brightest light. And that smile right there created so much happiness in the morning. It was the most fun experience. It was so fun. And the kids woke up happy, and I sent them out the door, and they were happy. The rest was up for them. However, I know for my own self, by me having the awareness that, hey, I'm kind of like a little bit tense in the morning. And what could that be doing to the kids if I'm feeling a little bit wompy? So I changed it by putting a smile on my face. Silly cartoons in the morning, which the kids didn't even watch, but it was playing. And then my song, I sang them in the morning. And I'm going to go in and see if I can remember the words to the song, and I'll put it underneath this YouTube. That's happiness. That is happiness right there. Happiness could be as simple as realizing in a split second, hey, there's something I can do different to change the feeling tone into a more lighthearted and happy space. In my Susie terms, I go into more frequency and energies. So when we really look at a low vibin experience, and we realize that low vibin is affecting not only our own selves, our own soul aspect, and also the other ones in our field, then we realize we can do simple acts of shifting awareness and rising into a higher frequency by simply making a change. Today's lesson is all about smiling. I didn't know that was going to be the case. But a smile does do a lot of good in the field that we're playing in, that we're surfing in. Also, when you're having that smile, that experience of smiling on your face, even though when I was a young mom, sending those kids off to school, that smile at the beginning was kind of fake. It was fakey. I was like, I'm going to just smile and be like perky. However, the body and my brain didn't understand that it was fake or that I was kind of play acting. The brain, my whole body responded to the smile by dropping these beautiful, delicious, and I'm going to say this, juicy hormones into the body. It just ignited my body from the crown all the way down to the bottom of my feet. that when I put on that somewhat fakey smile when I was shifting my energies back in those days, my brain responded, my body responded with a yes, far out, man. It's almost like my cells were like doing jumping jacks and blowing bubbles and doing cartwheels. They're like, Mama wants to have fun. Yes, yes, we've been waiting to have fun with Mama. Oh gosh, this turned out to be pretty fun this morning. Anyway, so these are just some ideas. And so really when you get into that happy space, I just brought on a cellular level, is that the cells respond to what you think, believe, feel, tune into, what your actions are, what your space is like. Your cells respond because they are like little soldiers waiting for you to tell them what to do. They're like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Oh, you're going to be happy. We're going to be happy today. Far out, fun. Anyway, that's all I've got for today, and I see you as being in your most beautiful and juicy space of happiness. And smile, 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 and smile.